Okay, fine. So today we are going to learn array in Pythons. Okay. What are the different way to store different data types or different variables together? And it's very important because at the end Python is known for work with the data sets. So the any data set we have, and accordingly that we have to work. Means up to now what we have done. Suppose you want to store something values, so we have used a variable. Suppose a is equal to 22, we hold one single value. Then after that we have seen some string kind of thing. So in single variable we are using some string value. Mm. So one single variable we had used, and accordingly that we are apply the for loop for that, and then we can uh, read that value and accordingly did some calculations and etc. Okay. Now what if I want to combine a multiple value together? For example, if I want to store a three, four different kind of subjects, so at that time, what we have done, we have taken four or five variables. S1 is equal to something, then S2 is equal to something. So every time we have to create a different variable, and accordingly that we have to send the value. That is the one part. And if what I want to store a multiple data, means like one is integer, second is a float, third is single characters, and then again we have something string value. So I want to combine all the things together. Then what happens? Okay. In while doing programming, in many situations we need a many kind of things. So at that time we have to think which data types or which things should be used here. Okay. For example, suppose is there any event and you want to collect the data? You want to just collect the data. Any data may be it form of anything. It may be the mobile number, it may be a number, it may be a name, or it may be age, it may be the qualifications, all random data you want to access. So at that time you need some things that holds every kind of data, not similar data, any kind of data, without any limitation or anything. Okay. At that times in the Python there is a one data type, so you can say that it is part of an array, that is called a list. Okay. List is or it is ordered. Okay. It is a changeable. We can update the list, we can remove the list, we can also delete the list also. Okay. Even we can apply for loop for the list actually. Okay. So list is a features that we are going to use, and it is very simple, and it most commonly used type is list, because in list there is a no restriction we have. We can store n number of data plus any kind of data types, and then again no. Yes. So any kind of database we can store, we can update the data. Okay. We can also add the filtration with list, and plus you can apply the for loop also list. So anything we can do with the list. So the very first thing that we are going to learn about the list, it is ordered, changeable kind of things. Okay. And further as we are going, so the next thing we are going to study about the tuples. Okay. So the list we are using the square brackets. Remember that. So that we are using. In tuples we are using a round brackets. So once we study the list, everything is remains same, but we have to differentiate the what is difference between the list and tuples. The list have no restriction. You can store any data, any kind of things, update, delete, changes, all the things are possible, and it's order also. But you go for the tuples. The tuples also used for storing data, but it is not changeable. Means once you add the some data to the once you created a tuple, suppose five different data, so you cannot add the six ones, or you cannot remove the any data. Okay. So that kind of changes are there in every kind of data types or array types. Then we have again we are going for the set is an ordered, and plus it is not allowed duplicate values. So that feature having a sets. Again, we go further. We have the dictionary. In dictionary, we are using a curly brackets. In set also, we are using a curly bracket, but it's hold only single data. But in dictionary, we also use a curly bracket, but that hold a value in the form of key colon value. So these are all are the different types of data sets which holds the value, but with their own features. But now, as of now, we just start with the list, and we'll understand the list, what exactly the list is, how to apply a list, how to create a list, how to add a list, and what are the features of list. And it will be useful in throughout the program or throughout the course, even in your doing a task. You may do the data science, machine learning, anything. So the list is very important because at the end you will get a raw data. It may be the anywhere. It may be the from file. It may be from Excel's. At that time, you are going to read the value and accordingly you have to do the calculation. And you remember that last in some kind of lectures, I have shown you the one program that is a filtrations. Correct. So result filtration. We have read some data from the files and again we have filter that accordingly and storing into the different list and then we are applying pie charts. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that kind
the
of
very
operation.
first thing of pie
Yeah.
charts, right? That's what you're talking
s-
about. No,
Exactly. So
you showed me the uh, code which you did. We did not do that.
yeah. So basically, I always focus while studying the Python because in Pythons at the end you will get the data and accordingly we have to apply the filtrations. Just 1 second. Okay, fine. So data is important. So this step understand how we are growing. Initially, we are working with a single variables. Now we are combining multiple data types together. For that, we are using the list. Okay. Then further on, we are going to use the file also. Okay. We are creating a file and reading the data from the files. Then we'll also read the data from Excel also. Okay. So these are the different way that where the data is holded and accordingly we can read the data. And for reading every value, there are different type. But at the end, after reading that value, you have to use some storage so that it can hold the value and it can provide the value. So the list is commonly used because it's hold any kind of data and also we can remove the data, update data, delete data, all kind of operation we can do with the list. Okay. So let's begin the very simple things. While defining a list, we have to do nothing. Just take a one variables, anything. Okay. Is equal to just to make a use of a square bracket. Okay. Now keep on adding the value. A one, two. Sometimes you want to add a float, no problems. Sometimes you want to add characters, not a problem. And you want to add some string, you can maybe add. Okay. You can add any kind of data, it's sure. It will work for that. Okay. Let's take a simple example. So take a new file, go to our folder, save that file, suppose lsd1.py. Now, if you want to define a single list, simple list, so just make a use of square brackets and add any data, 1, comma 2, comma, like 3.3, comma, just I'm using character A, and also I'm making the use of string or anything like Apple. So initially just make a list and just print it. Here are anti-print list. Okay. So which is very simple things that in this way we can define a list and we can access the list. Okay. So this is what list. And now there are filtration, there are features, there are functions according to the list that we have to apply. So what if I would just want to say the first value, last value, as last time we did with the string chapters. In the same way, we can apply that all features in the list also. Means what? The same things. Suppose what if I want to print the first element, then same way what we are use for accessing first element in string,
Um,
lst of
yeah,
what I
one,
have to use for
one,
accessing
one,
first.
zero, zero. Sorry, zero.
0. Okay.
Yeah,
So this is what things we have to use. The save before run programs. All the features that are similar in almost the every Python functions. I mean most of things. Whenever there is a questions come related to slicing, so that all things are work. And what for the last value want to print?
-1,
If I use -1, then what it print? It only print E or entire apple.
entire apple.
Entire apple it gonna print. Okay, so remember that because now we are holding a list. So this entire word is having a one index. Okay. Up to now, what we have worked on a single string. So at that time, either E is V index because there is only one input we are having as a strings. But now we are having the entire string as a one index. So this is also the features of list. Okay, you can hold the multiple string together or multiple words together, and that will work with individual indexes. Okay, so fine. So this is list for accessing first value, last value we can have. Then all the slices are work fine. So what if I want to print only the numbers value, not a string value from the given list? Which slice should apply? I want only 1, 2, and 3.3. So which range should I use or how should I use?
Um, Wait, it's
We have to
the
use the slice for the colon that we
yeah,
know. But
and
how?
did
Like, should I start from 0 or what should I use? What should be the slice we can apply? Anything
the
like
yeah
uh,
the colon and three, like
colon and
colon and two. Sorry, two,
it
zero,
work with
one, two.
zero,
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, no?
yeah.
Just a second. So basically, we have to apply the colon. And fine,
I can't see the screen moving. Yeah,
colon and 3. 0, 1, 2. I don't know, 3. Maybe let's check.
zero.
Yeah. So by default, while doing slices, it may be a count from 1. Okay. We observed because if you print the 0, that is for only single index. Yeah, slice because it actually started with 0, but it is not printing the end index before the end index. Okay. Means it
Yeah.
printing before 3. Before 3, the 0, 1, and 2. Okay.
Okay.
If I make as 4, then it also print now A. Okay.
So,
So
what
indexing is
if
0.
we want like the all?
All values.
Yeah, like
You
in
already
that
printed.
format. No, in that format.
Yeah, then we have to calculate the length of that things. Okay, that is also the functions. So we can first of all get the lane of that um function is nothing but the lane len of lst. So once we have the length, what is length? 5. First of all, calculate the length and then you can pass the, or else simply what we can do, can calculate So this combinations or this kind of so conversion we need to know. Okay. So now whatever it may be a length, though we are having a fixed list, but just consider it is very larger list and we don't know like how many variables are there or how many values are there. So simply get the length of that list and just add colon comma list here. Okay, that's all. Okay, and
Yeah.
it is a dynamic one. Though we are adding a 5 directly, that also works, but this is very dynamic. Now, even though you can trying to add some other variables, so that doesn't affect with these functions. Okay, so always try to do some dynamic test because though they are changing some values, but still it is work for that. So that's kind of things we must, right? So this is one slice. Even we can just now tell me like what if I only want A and apple? Only these both things I want. And now we have to calculate and accordingly we have to apply the slice. From where to
If
where should I print?
if you just want one an apple, then we cannot put the range in between, right?
Sorry?
If we just want two individual variables, then we
Mm-hmm.
can't put the range, right?
Huh. But now I
0
want
comma
A and apple.
3,
Only both the things I want.
0 comma 5 or 4.
No, if I zero use, then it will start from one. Na? I
Yeah.
just want
Oh, so
A.
you want A and apple, okay.
Yeah. So what is the index of A now? 0, 1, and 2.
Yeah, it's
It's
3.
3.
Yeah.
So we have to use
So
start
2.
from 3. No, start from 3. See, before end index it printing, but the start index itself it
Okay.
considers. Okay. So start from 3 and 4 also you want to print. So the last index you have to add the 5. So before 5. Okay, means 3 and 4 it going to print. Okay.
Yes.
So this slicing also we must know like how exactly it works. Right? So these are all other functions that we want to do, like first index, last index, so similar slices or before that. And what I if I want to print only the 7, 8, 9.
Um, 7, 8, 9. Then 5 colon minus 1.
Why minus
Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5
5 and
minus
colon?
8.
So
Yeah.
after 5, any
Sorry, yeah.
variables there are. Right. Okay. But if there any after 9 there is some other variable, then we have to put the end index also. Okay. So these are the slicing things. So first index, last index, before this, after this, or in between this. So apart from this, there is nothing slice. Okay, this is what the need we have to do. Means any data we comes that accordingly we have to add the filtrations. Fine. So list is a collection of all kind of data, and that's hold every type of data. And we can apply different kind of slices. So lane is a one function for calculating the length, and these are all are the simple slices we have. Fine. So this is first thing we have to understand the list. Now we'll go for the another file. We'll save this lst2.py. Now I will make a list of similar types, okay, because I want to apply the for loop, so that will be more easy to understand the values. Suppose lst is equal to I'm just holding a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Okay. Yeah, that's just identity. Okay. So this is the given list, and from a given list, this is used for many time interview questions also. So we have to prepare for this. So from the given list, I want to find the occurrence of 2. How many time this 2 is occurs in the list. Okay. And this why they are asking this question in interview, because in many times you may get the raw data. Suppose as I told, there is an event, and for the event there are many peoples are comes, that may be aged or adult or childs, and they expected to that I want to exactly count of the peoples age wise. I want to know how many peoples are below 18 or in between 18 to 25, 25 to 40, and which are the peoples who are aged more than 60 years. Okay. Suppose there are hundreds peoples are come for the event, and someone expected that I want exactly the count. Below 18, 40 peoples, after 18s there are 20 peoples, and after 60 there are 30 peoples. So accordingly that they want the date counts. So at that time this filtration is very useful. So in the similar way, I from the given list I want how many peoples or how many times 2 is occur in the given list. If we can do this program able to we can do, then we can do the any filtrations. Okay. And this is what the important in any files or any list. Okay. So now if I want to count the occurrence of 2, so first of all we print all the value. So it is very needy thing that we have to visit every single individual element from the list. Correct. Then only we will come to know now that how many times 2 is occur. And the plus, we should also compare that some value is matching with this. If it is a 2, then we can define one counter, and that we can increment the counters. So this all thing we have to do. So then what should we have to use so that we'll visit the every individual value from the given list? What should I use here? How we can visit the every value from the given list?
Maybe using the function count.
And we have to use a function count, but we have to use here for loop. Okay.
Okay.
So for I will take one variable, and then in for I in what LST. So this is what the features of Python. The for loop we can use when we are working with a numeric value. At that time you have to use the range. You can use with the string also. You can use with the list also. Okay. Now just print the I, because I variable which apply in the for loop with the list. Now, if you print that value, you will come to know that every single individual element or individual value you are accessing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever things. Okay. Now we know come to know that suppose it printing the every single value in I variable. So simply we have to compare if in I variable we are getting the value if I equal to is 2. Then just initialize one counter cnt is equal to 0. Whenever the I will become 2, at that time we have to increment the cnt by 1. Cnt is equal to cnt by plus 1. And just go here and just print the value pri nt print uh, whatever the like number of occurrence. Number of occurrence. Whatever the spelling is. Okay. Comma cnt. See how many times 2 occurs? 5 times.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I want to ask the user any variable you want to search so that we have to print? User will enter the value want to search. So at that time, so 2 here we are directly passing. So
Yeah,
that
so we
value we
can.
should accept from the user. So for value you want from the users. So n is equal to int of input, and we should ask for the user enter en, enter number to be search SCARCH, okay, from the given list, and whichever the user going to enter, that value is going to store into this n variable. So instead of 2, just compare the n. So always try to make a program dynamics, because it's we run the many times, so it will print every time as a 2 count, 2 count, 2 count. So even the numbers of occurrence of n, or you can say that then n occurs cnt times times times. Okay, let's run this program. So now suppose I wanted to 2 occurs 5 times. So now just this comment, this line, it's not useful here. Okay, suppose I want to check the 4. 4 occurs 3 times. Okay, so in this similar way, what we can do, we can create any list, and we can check the value whether this value is there or not in this list. Okay,
Mm.
at that time also we can use these things.
So if what if we not use the for loop and directly use the if loop? Will it work?
No, how it will be work? Because in if loop we are use, then it not going to visit the every values.
Okay.
Okay, so here the visiting the every value is very important. So at that time we have to use the for loops. If we use a
Okay.
directly I value, so in I we must get the first of all 1 2, it may be a
Yeah.
2 at be
Yeah.
any position, so it is very
Yes. Yes.
important to visit from start to end, and
Okay.
then we have to add the filtrations. Got it?
Yes.
So this program is very important. If you have any doubt in this thing, because on the basis of this we are going to do a many tasks or many kind of project also. Okay, now what if I told you like we have to make a list of student marks or student percentage of student marks, different percentage marks. Okay, marks actually. So some 80 marks, 90 marks, 70 marks, 50 marks, 40 marks. So at 10 to 12 marks we have to 10 to 15 marks list we have to store. And after that, if I told you like I want to know the how many students got the first class, second class, and the third class. Accordingly, I want the count. Then you can do. Okay,
Yes.
if I like what I'm expecting. So this is what your task. Okay, you have to create one marks kind of list is equal to, and this list holds the different marks. Suppose 99 comma 55 comma 40 comma 35 comma anything. Okay. Then 66. This is 10 to 15 value it may hold, and then after that I want the exactly count of first class students, second class students, or how many students have failed. Then you have to use three different count variables: f count first class, s count second class, or fail count. Okay, then you are going to apply three if conditions. If I whatever it is like greater than 75, then the first class or distinction count is incremented. Then if it is between the first 60 to above and the 75 below, then first class, then below 40 the failed students. So accordingly that we have to count that value. Done.
Yes.
Okay, so fine, this is we have worked with the what fixed one list. Okay, now we'll go with some functions, that is file operations or list operations. Let's save this file first. Saving, use the lst3.py. Okay, so initially I will take one simple list and let's some hold value, or it may have suppose initially empty. Okay, empty list we are defined, and now I want user should value. User should add the value. Any value you should add. Okay. So first of all, I want to ask the user like how many values you want to add, and then accordingly I want to add the values. So very first thing what we have to do, we have to take one variable is equal to, it is a numeric thing we want. For int of inputs, enter the number of value you want to add. Enter the number you want to add. Up to now, what we have did, we have stored the hard-coded list, but now we should ask the users how many value you want to add. Enter the number you want to add. You want to add. So user will add. Suppose you want to add a 5 value, 10 value, 100 value, 2 value, 3 value. So that number is going to store into the n variable. Okay. Now I have to make a use of on function so that that will be repeat for that number of times. So I want to repeat that block based on the user input number. So what should I use here? Okay. I want to repeat the particular block based on user inputs. Then now just tell me, just forget about this list. I want to ask the number from the user, and based on user number, I want to print the high. Okay. Suppose user enter the two number, I want to print the high for two times. If user print the number 5, then I want to print the high for 5 times. It will be 10 for 10 times. And how should you apply the logic, or how can you do the programs? Simple task I'm asking. Just I want to print that message based on the user input.
So print n.
How should I do? Okay. You understood question or not? What I'm trying to tell you, that
Can you repeat?
basically I just want to take the input from user. Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose user and how many times value or how many value you want to add. Suppose you enter the 3.
Yeah.
So you want to print 3 time hello message. If you print the 30, then 30 time hello message. If you want to print only once, the one time hello messages. So what techniques or what should we have to use so that it will be repeat that number of times? And I have told you that whenever there is a repetition purpose, so at that time you have to use a for loops.
Yeah.
Okay. The for loop is those, just remember that it is only a single syntax. It is used in all over the things. Okay. So many time it is needed. For and if else, it is the most commonly used things. Okay. Every time we have to work with that for and if else. Okay. Now simple, I have just given a hint that we have to use the for loop, but told me now we are working with a number. So which for loop should I use now? Like while working with the number, then how we can apply the for loop? Have you remember the syntax of for loops?
Yeah. So for and the condition.
For
And the condition. For like,
we have to take one variable,
yeah.
then in this is
In.
simple syntax. Either we are having some string or list. Does we have anything now? No, we have only
Yeah.
the number, and based on
Uh,
that number, we have to print that loop. So, which function should I use here? I remember we have used the range.
yeah, range.
Okay, so we have to use the range. For I in range, which range? Whatever the user is going to enter. Okay, and then accordingly, we have to print that hi or many times that is hello or something hi. So just go here. If a user enter two times, hi, hi, hi. Okay. So only study the program with the syntactically, that is the one part. But while study these things, so now if I enter the 30 times, sorry, oh, sorry, what happened? Slices also get printed. Sorry about this. So just, I want to use it 23 times. It's 23 times. Okay. So this is what the dynamic programming is about. Fine. So now what we have done here, like we are given the user choice and user will enter any kind of value. And accordingly at that, we have to update the list also. And at the end, we should add in the list. So user will add the value. So I will go into the for loop and ask the user to like which value you want to add. Um, Suppose I'm taking the val is equal to simple input I'm taking, enter value for list, enter value for list. Okay. For
Okay.
updating list, there is a one function, and that function, I think append function is there. So let me check once just for verifications. Yeah, it is append function. Append. So append, see this append function system. Hmm. So here we are go, and then within a for loop, we should use that function. So what is our function list name is lst dot append function. So just make sure the indentation issue. Fine. And which value you want to print, whatever the user is going to add. So this is very important to know, like if someone told or any event is going on, that event, for the event we want to adding a keep on adding the value. Just tricky, initially we have to add how many guest stars there or how many people are comes and that number, and based on that we have to keep on adding the value into that given list. Okay. So this is the common loop that we are did the programs. We are asked the user how many value you want to add. Enter first number. Suppose you enter the 5. So this loop will now rotate for the 5 times. So every time it will enter the values. Okay. Then it append function will add that value into that particular list. And at the end, we can also print the list so that whether it is applied or not. That also we can check. Okay. Just go here, how many value into what? Suppose I want to add only a two value. So enter the value for list. Suppose I'm storing some fruit or some friend's name. Suppose Suresh, first value, and against the Ramesh, second value. So now list is generated. Okay. Just
Okay.
remember how the powerful is. Okay. We have making a dynamic list as per the user needed. Suppose is there any event is going on and that for that event only five people are comes, and I want to hold the all the age of that five peoples. Okay. For students, peoples come for 25 age, that 34 age, 22 age, 11 age, and one is a 66 age. So these are the peoples. Then accordingly, I also want to filter these loops. So that as last program we have did. So take this list and now again apply the for loop and again increment the count as per the age categories. Okay. So this dynamicness also we can do with the list. First things, the append is a function to like it is used for what? Add value into list. Add value into list. Okay. You can add the value into list. And one more function is that as we are added, so in similar way, we can also remove the values also. That also you want to do. Okay. For removing, we have to apply the key, exactly the key. So once we have printed the value and now suddenly you want to remove something, so just you can go here, ask the user, enter the value you want to remove. Anything like just take the for loop. So simple loops we have to take. Suppose I'm using the DL input, enter value from the list you want to remove. WNT want to remove. Okay. So now if you want to remove the value, then which function you have to use? The lst dot remove. Correct. It is remove removes. And which value you want to remove? Suppose the DL value. You can print that value list, a list. Okay. Just go here and suppose I want to add the four student name, um, A, comma B, comma C, comma D. So we are having the A, B, C, D, and suddenly we have realized that oh, I don't want the C value. So just you want to remove the C, just enter the value from the list we want to list. You cannot add any other value. So now C is get removed, only this is now printed. Okay. Even though you
Yeah.
can like give the menu, also do the menu tool program also. We can combine all the things together and then give user the choice. You want to add, then that loop is executed. If you want to remove, then this loop is executed. And also there is a one more function that you can also update the value. Okay. So for that we have to first of all add that position, and within that position we can apply some other values. So that is for use for updation purpose. So like how we can do. Um, I'll just show that how can update the value. Suppose this is what the list we are having. Um, whatever the first value we are having index, enter the index. Suppose I will take the LST of 1. You can add any value at the first and very first time in the first value it must hold the Suresh. Okay. And just print now LST. LST, it is LST. Just remove the screen. Just close it here. Now run this program. Suppose enter the number of value 3. Suppose I'm adding it SS, then we are having something BBB, something CCC. Now, if you observe this thing, so it is basically the SSSS or SSS. So double S is there. So I will remove the. So now which SS it is going to remove the first or last? That also we are going to observe. I think it will remove the first one. Okay. And you can also observe the first index is now get with Suresh, though it is having a SSS because we are updated. The first will be Suresh. Okay. So in this way we can add the value. So remove is for delete value from list, delete values, value from list, and also this is for appending things. How we can make this dynamic because it is a hard coded one now. So what I want to make it the hide. And so what should I use? So at that time we have to take a two different value from the user. First of all, the like which value you want to update. Okay, enter the index and the values because two things we needed. Enter the value. Enter the value for the list you want to update. So that is suppose of value is there. UP I'm just taking, and also enter the index. Also we have to ask for the users index. The index I'm taking when I variable. Enter the value and enter the index. because two things we have needed. So whatever the index that we have to add here, and whatever the update value that we have to add here. So it will look must like more dynamic. So let's run these programs. Suppose there is event is going on. If you are adding the five people's names, suppose I'm taking the A, small, taking B, C, D, and E. Okay, this five people's are comes and just now want to like remove the value from the given list. So just remove the anything. Suppose I want to remove the D here. That is remove the D here. Okay. Suddenly I realize that now we want to update something. So I just want to update AA as apple, A double P L E apple. For each index, where is the index? Apple value is which position you want to add. So that add that position. Suppose I want to add for the zeroth index. Oh, something is missing. What is missing? List indices must be the integer or slice, not str. Okay, what you have done here? See, this index is working as what? String.
integer.
So just it may be a like integer. So just now again we have to run the entire program. So not a problem. So just go there, kill that this programs and just now run. Enter the value. Suppose I'm taking three value A, B, and C. I want to remove the value C. It is removed. I want to update the value A equal to apple with the index value 0. Done.
Yes.
Okay. So this is all about things about regarding the list. So you have done the everything. We have used the slice. We'll use the for loops. We'll use the counters, searching, or update. I'm not teaching always a single functions. Okay, this is for update, this is for delete, this is for remove. I'm trying to make some realistic examples so that exactly use of this L list or we are going to understand. Now you can understand like any event or small kind of things where you have to just keep on adding the data. So at that time we can add the data. Sometime we want to delete or sometime we want to change. So all kind of operation we can do. Okay. Now I will give you one task, and the task is so you have to make one manual programs. Okay. So user, you can give the choice for the user. You want to add the value into list. So at that time you have to make this choice. If the case is equal to one, so add the value in the list. Suppose you want to search something value, you can use the search function as last program here did. And you want to remove something value, so the remove. You want to update something value, then you can update. Try to make one manual program using for all this list function. First of all, practice this list. That's very important. You may study any kind of things. You need this many times. Okay, understood this?
Yes.
Okay. Um, okay, like 2, 3D programs are pending. So just let me update this program. Are you doing a practice now simultaneously? So it's very
Yeah.
important, huh? Because all basic things we are covering. So keep on doing practice. Then only it is going to understood you, because at the end we are did lot of program and that will get confused like what should I use or what should I not. So simple do task. Tomorrow is Friday, right?
Yes.
So you have a chance to do the practice. So just I will upload the programs, all the GitHub programs. So not Jiva here. Mm, scan state change. Yes. Then the Python function and list. Python function and list. Okay. Commit push. Now to say done. So now you have all the programs with you. I have shared your GitHub link, right? So you have the GitHub links. So just go there and just refresh. You can access it. Python list and programs. Now this, okay. All the program we are having, and also we have the list. Now further we are going to learn about tuples. Now tuples we have to just observe. In list there is so many combination, but in tuple, set and dictionary they have the fixed things. Okay. And even the list also can allow the null value, or you can duplicate value also. Okay, two time you can take the similar value, but in set that is not allowed. As we study the other data sets, that time we come to know like what are the difference between list, tuple, set and dictionary. As of now just focus on the list, because the most commonly used type is list, because it hold all kind of data, so there is nothing hectic. Just keep on adding, keep on deleting, keep on removing, keep on updating. So every operation it is going to do. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Fine. So now we'll continue on Saturday. Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye.